Now at 10, the Carthage City Council considers censuring one of its members. Plus, art advocates in Joplin strategize before meeting with Missouri lawmakers on funding the arts in the Show Me State. And future business leaders compete on the campus of PSU.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Carthage City Council discusses proposed resolution to censure one of its members. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. That meeting began at 6:30 tonight. It's still underway at this moment. The council member at the center of the discussion is Tiffany Cossey. According to the city administrator, Greg Dagnan, a censure is an opinion of the council that they disagree with the council person's action, but that doesn't remove that member from the council. KOAM's Fernandez Silva spoke to her and to Dagnan before the meeting to better understand the situation.
I feel that it's just another tactic by people who have something that they would like the public not to know. I think that they are trying to stop me from participating in city government. I think that they are trying to stop me from getting my message out. I think they're trying to stop me from asking questions.
Carthage Council member Tiffany Cossey says that these are the reasons why the Carthage City Council proposed a resolution to censor her.
A lot of the complaints were that I invited citizens to come to meetings, that I thank them for coming, I thank them for participating. A couple of times in the list of complaints was that I advised people to call City Hall or call their council person.
There's a HR complaint or human resources complaint that led to a very large investigation that is causing it. I really can't share that because it is protected by our HR policies, but that is what initiated this.
According to Dagnan, a censure is an opinion of the council that they disagree with the councilperson's action. It needs to be passed by a majority of votes.
It's basically just like the other council members saying, hey, we don't think you should be doing that. Would you please stop?
We tried reaching out to all the council members, but only 2 answered their phones. David Armstrong says that he has no comments. Alan Snow said that he had no interest in giving an interview.
Certain people in the city, I believe, are trying to find a way to either intimidate me or possibly get rid of me.
In Carthage, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
Now, once again, that city council meeting is still underway. Fernanda is there at the moment. We're waiting for an update. We'll let you know if we get one before the end of this broadcast. Well, the dense fog continues tonight. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it's been super foggy throughout the afternoon into the evening hours, and we are under a fog advisory tonight through the morning hours. So this fog in general is going to be sticking around. It's patchy in some spots, but overall it's widespread. 45 for a high today, started at 36. Average high is 45 degrees. And if we look outside, look at Joplin, foggy. Look outside at Pittsburgh, foggy, but temperatures hovering above freezing, which is good. Most of us are going to hang upper 30s to lower 40s as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. All right, a few random little light showers, and if you aren't getting light showers, you're getting drizzle, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours. Just pockets of drizzle, so still be very careful if you're going to be on the roadways because visibilities have dropped and they're on the wet side, and rain sticks around. We're going to be talking about that here in a bit.
Catch you in a few. Miami, Oklahoma residents today were able to give their input on the area's potential economic future. The Miami Area Economic Development Service held a public forum to discuss an action plan for Ottawa County. It was a chance for the public to give input on some of the area's economic strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities.
A lot of things that we need to work on. We know that we have a housing problem here in our community. We need more jobs. We need some workforce development issues addressed. We're looking at not only creating more jobs, but it's how you go about creating those jobs. Do you want more retail? Do you want manufacturing? Do you want a combination of both? So what we want to know is, well, what do our residents want?
The community forum could lead to city action such as acquiring more land for industrial expansion. Community members in the Joplin area came together today to prepare for future meetings with Missouri legislators. Participants in a roundtable discussion examined potential strategies to advocate for the arts in our area. The executive director of Connect to Culture says it's the first step of training that'll make discussions with state legislators easier.
Who better to speak for the arts than yourself as an arts lover? You know, the legislators need to hear how the arts have impacted your community. If nobody talks about it, then they'll never know, and they won't continue the funding that we get through the Missouri Arts Council for statewide funding for the arts.
This roundtable comes just 2 weeks before the Missouri Arts Advocacy Week. During that time, art leaders in our area will make their way to Jefferson City to talk with state legislators about the importance of the arts. After biking across Kansas last year, Pitt State's president has a new idea to fundraise for the school this year to raise a little green on the greens. The president, Dan Shipp, today announced plans to golf across the 4 states. It's an attempt to raise $3 million for scholarships for student athletes. From May 13th through May 24th, Shipp will golf at 8 courses throughout Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas.
We try to really focus and walk our talk at Pitt State. And so we make life better through education. That's our mission. And so I think it's my job is to really be a good role model and get involved in supporting our students. So no task is too big to support them to get to the finish line.
All of the money raised during the trip will support the school's Silverback Fund. High school students from Kansas came to Pitt State today for a district FBLA competition. FBLA, it stands for Future Business Leaders of America. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on what the event offers for students.
The Girard High School FBLA hosted 16 Kansas high schools at the district FBLA competition. Students compete in a variety of fields, from graphic design, event planning, and broadcast journalism, which was judged by our very own Tanya Bach.
Which the judges are there to help them improve their skills, not looking to figure out who are you not going to hire for the job.
I think that it's so important to develop these qualities early on in life, and I think that it will help prepare myself for the future.
When not competing, students were able to sit in on different seminars hosted by Kansas Works, a local workforce organization.
We feel like that we want to help them get as prepared as we can for the adult world. Transitioning out from high school into the real world can be kind of scary, and so to have that guidance and to help.
Students at the event say it is a great way to learn more about the workforce.
This is something that I can take on to something all the way into my future, whether it be a job or class or a leadership opportunity I have.
They have to learn to think on their feet. Everybody who's competing today is improving their presentation skills. There's public speaking events.
Organizers say the most important thing about the competition was that students were able to grow as individuals.
A little bit more confidence. They hold their head a little bit higher, they're a little bit more comfortable in any situation that at the beginning of the day they would have shied away from, but they're ready to go after it now.
In Pittsburgh, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
There were a total of 395 students from 16 schools scheduled to compete. Later in sports, the KOAM family of stations tips off its coverage of OKC basketball in just a couple of days. John Dales makes the trip to KOAM Arena to bring us a preview. But up first, some vote numbers are in from the New Hampshire primaries. We're going to have the latest on where the race for the GOP nomination goes from here. CBS News projects that former President Donald Trump will win today's New Hampshire Republican primary, defeating former UN Ambassador and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. But Haley has vowed to stick it out. Skylar Henry caught up with voters of all stripes at the polls.
CBS News projects former President Donald Trump the winner of New Hampshire's Republican primary. CBS News early exit poll data shows New Hampshire primary voters are unhappy with how things are going in the country, including 1/3 who are angry about it.
Things wouldn't be happening the way they are right now if we had a Trump administration right now.
Republican primary voters say the most important issues are the economy and immigration, a top driver for Donald Trump supporters. The former president greeted a vocal crowd in Londonderry this afternoon.
There's never been a movement like this, Make America Great Again, in the history of our country.
His voters are eager to see him back in the Oval Office.
All of his policies when he was the president coincided very well with my foundational beliefs.
But former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has been drumming up every possible vote in this independently minded state, and many voters found her message appealing.
She just adds a very optimistic energy to the room, and that's who we want to lead our country.
Just some stability and normalcy back to the party, I think is so important.
Haley has said regardless of the outcome, she intends to push through to next month's contest in her home state of South Carolina.
What I've always had in my mind is I want to be stronger than Iowa. And then South Carolina, I want to be stronger. Let's see what that looks like.
I don't care if she says it. Let her do whatever she wants. It doesn't matter.
CBS News exit polls show New Hampshire primary voters are more moderate and independent than Iowa caucus goers, with about 1 in 5 making up their mind in just the last few days. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Now, CBS News also projects President Joe Biden will win the Democratic primary in New Hampshire. His name was not even on the ballot, but supporters mounted a write-in campaign on his behalf. Apple is working to protect personal data stored on your iPhone. The company announced a major security update that's now available for download. Stolen Device Protection, as it's called, adds an extra layer of security by creating additional steps to access information. You'll be asked to use face or fingerprint scanning or access data or make changes. It's activated only when you are away from the familiar location like work or your home. A Cassville, Missouri man faces felony charges for a scam in which he allegedly impersonated a law officer. Investigators say 37-year-old Jared Archer contacted a Cherokee County, Kansas resident by phone, claiming the resident's co-worker was in custody and that the resident needed to send a bond payment. Authorities arrested Archer in Ottawa County, Oklahoma. One person was taken to the hospital after a house fire in Coffeyville, Kansas this afternoon. First responders encountered heavy smoke and fire from multiple sides of the home when they arrived. One occupant was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Another was uninjured. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Check out this body cam video from a Jonesboro, Arkansas police officer. According to the Jonesboro PD, Officer Troy Ellison responded to a call of a child who had fallen through the ice and into a pond. This is one heroic officer. Officer Ellison observed the child holding onto a patch of ice about 10 feet from the shore. In the video, you can see Ellison running toward the child, crawling onto the ice, and then pulling that child to safety. The child was taken to the hospital to be checked out for any cold weather injuries. Officer, we salute you. A little bit later, winter weather takes its toll on area trash services.
Plus, we may not have ice or snow right now, but we have plenty of rain over the next few days. Details coming up.
We offer
It's all we do.
Well, of course, more rain for us today. Drizzle and fog has been the bigger issue for us, especially over about the past 6-7 hours. Look at our Indigo Casino sky cam, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. It looks kind of blurry. That's actually fog. We got widespread fog across the entire region, and this is going to continue as we go through the overnight hours tonight. In fact, let's look at our visibilities right now. A little bit thinner on the Missouri side, still thick. And then it really gets dense once you get into southeastern Kansas. This is going to be the trend all night long. Most of us are going to have visibilities under a half a mile. A lot of us under a quarter of a mile. Plus, roads are wet, so be very careful if you are going to be out tonight into the morning hours. Dense fog advisory until noon tomorrow. Everybody, as the fog is super thick across the region. Also on top of that, we have drizzle, and where you see the green dots, those are light little showers. We're going to continue to get light little showers on and off as we go through the night. These will pick up a little bit once we get past midnight. Let me show you our future track storm tracker. At 1 a.m. you can see scattered light showers across the region. Light showers continue. Here's 3:30 in the morning, and then most of the showers kind of dissipate by morning, but the drizzle and the fog is out there, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the morning hours for us tomorrow. All right, rainfall amounts tonight, tomorrow night. It's not a lot. It's a little. Drizzle doesn't pile up very fast, but mainly 1/10 of an inch or less across the region. Here's the good news, though. Temperatures across the board, upper 30s, lower 40s, so we're above freezing. Look at the fog here. This is 20th and range line, one of our MoDOT cameras. You can barely see. It's 43. Visibility is definitely on the low side. All right, we had batch 1 yesterday, ice. We had batch 2 last night, rain. We have batch 3, much lighter, rolling through tonight. Light little showers. Here's batch 4, which will give us some showers late tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Here's batch 5, much stronger system, which is going to move in late Friday into Saturday. So the drizzle, fog, light showers tonight into the morning hours, and then by noon the fog will start to break. Mid 40s. By the afternoon, mainly just cloudy, high temps 48 to 50. Let's go into tomorrow night. Some hit and miss light showers and drizzle pop up again, even a little bit of fog into Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, just mostly cloudy. Again, temperatures 48 to about 50. All right, day planner on your Wednesday, 42 at 9, 1 p.m. 48, 47 by 5 p.m. And let's jump ahead. That little bigger system moving in late Friday. Most of Friday is dry, but I'll stop at 4:30 p.m. You can see on Friday, rain increases again, periods of rain Friday night and all day Saturday. So the first half of your weekend is going to be wet. 50 tomorrow, 51 on Thursday, 55 Friday, 43 cooler on Saturday, 46 on Sunday. A few random showers next Tuesday and Wednesday. Once we get into next week, we hit a little calmer stretch of the pattern for about 10 to 12 days before it picks up again around February 8th.
Well, I don't really want that. I prefer these calmer stretches.
Well, you have one coming up.
All right. Well, thanks, Doug. We have an update on our top story now. We told you that the Carthage City Council was considering the censure of one of its members, Tiffany Cossey. We've just learned from our reporter there that that decision has been postponed tonight. They're going to bring it up at the next meeting, they say. Of course, we will continue to cover this story as it develops and wherever it goes. People in a number of area communities have been dealing with delays in their trash service caused by the recent wintry weather. That includes some customers in Miami, Oklahoma. The trash service there says while situations like the weather and holidays can throw off a service schedule, they recommend customers stick to the regular routine as far as taking their trash to the curb when they're supposed to. Various trash companies in the 4 states say they have dealt with a combination of factors in recent weeks. First the holidays, then the bitter cold, and then of course the snow and ice. Still ahead, the Thunder entered the night a half game out of first place. John Dales has more from Oklahoma City up next in sports.
PSI Insurance.
Joplin.
Hey, and welcome to the KOAM Center in Oklahoma City, where I'm John Dales. We told you that the Thunder are coming to the 4 states. Tonight, we pay them a visit in the final Oklahoma City Thunder home game before we begin to air their games on our stations starting this Friday at 7 as they take on the Pelicans. But first, the Thunder have a chance tonight to be in first place in the Western Conference by the end of the night. The Trailblazers come into Paycom Arena this evening with a record of 12-30. They're the opponent. Second to last in the Western Conference is Portland. Now this is the 3rd meeting of the season between these two. The first two have each been blowouts for Oklahoma City. The Thunder won 134-91 back on November 19th. On January 11th, the Thunder won by 62 points. They try to clinch the regular season series tonight. So as the Thunder have a chance to move into first place, if you're not a huge NBA fan, not a huge basketball fan, no better time than right now to begin. You don't have to worry about paying extra to get access to TV broadcasts. The Thunder are excited to be bringing their brand of basketball to a new audience in the 4 states.
Our broadcast, that's the vehicle to bring all of that Thunder excitement to our fans, to their living rooms. And the best part about all of this, it's the same exact crew that you've grown to love over the course of the year. Chris Fisher, Michael Cage, myself, Nick Gallo, all bringing you the action right there into your home. And so it's going to be a really exciting opportunity for these 8 Friday night games throughout the rest of the regular season.
Back in the 4 states, we have another couple of local college basketball teams that are red hot right now. Starting with Missouri Southern women's basketball. Last couple of weeks, fans have been saying, what do the Lions have to do to get inside the top 25? And with the rankings coming out this afternoon today, fans are still asking that question. That's because the newest edition of the coaches poll drops. Southern, despite winning 10 in a row, receiving votes but not ranked. Pitt State out of the top 25, not receiving votes. And Fort Hays State and UCM, the only two MIAA teams to be ranked in the top 25. The Lions have beaten both of them. Elsewhere in the 4 states, another team that refuses to lose is NEO. The Golden Norsemen play at home against Western Oklahoma State tonight. They've won 13 in a row. NEO has gotten here in a true team effort. Nobody is averaging more than 13 points or 16 minutes per game. Tip-off in Miami is scheduled for 7:30. But back here with the Thunder, a lot of names to take in and a lot of names to note for Thunder fans. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of them. He's 4th in the NBA this year in scoring with more than 31 points per game. And if you're wondering how much exactly is that a lot? That's more than NBA superstars Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, defending NBA Final MVP Nikola Jokic, Chet Holmgren, another name to know. He's averaging 17 points and 7 rebounds per game. But for now, that's all from Oklahoma City. We'll be back after this.
This is Mike, 4-state hero.
Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. Here's the best part. It's free. Doesn't cost a dime. It's available in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store. All you have to do is download the KOAM Skywatch weather app. A bit of weather news you should be aware of tonight and certainly into the morning as you go to school and work. Very heavy fog out there. It could be dangerous for drivers, and you need to be aware.
I just posted a video about it, which goes to the weather app. So we do daily videos of my forecast on there. Dense fog tonight through the morning. So if you're going to be out, visibility is very low. So be super careful. Plus, the roads will be wet.
Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Be careful out there. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
On KOAM News is sponsored